Welcome to the Dinosaur Review for Kids podcast, a show all about reviewing dinosaurs on a scale of 1 to 10 fossils before only the elite terrible lizards make it into the prehistoric cage match. This program is presented by the Stomp Chomp Roar Company and can be heard within all the rock layers across the planet. Grab your dinosaurs and your official scorecard because it's now time to dig for dinosaurs. Here's your Mesozoic host, Dinosaur Ranger Anthony.
Hello everyone! I hope everyone is having great dreams as they're dreaming about dinosaurs, because tonight I am burning the midnight oil because it's 12 a.m. here on Wednesday, June 15th, here in Omaha, Nebraska. We have a gigantic thunderstorm outside as big as the Giganotosaurus. But guess what? I saw Jurassic World Dominion tonight, and let me just say, no spoilers here for this week's episode, but I really enjoyed it. It wasn't as bad as all the movie critics were making it seem. I really enjoyed it, and on my way home, my daughter asked me what I'd rate it. So I said I'd probably give it about an 8 out of 10 stars. I even looked it up on the Rotten Tomatoes website, and the fan audience rating was 7.9 out of 10 stars, so I'm right there. I did enjoy it better than Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, but I think the original Jurassic World is the best one out of the trilogy. Now, I knew I had to come straight down into the studio to record this week's podcast after seeing such a great movie. Now, thank you everyone for tuning in to the Dinosaur Review for Kids podcast. Again, my name is Dinosaur Ranger Anthony, your awesome dinosaur expert for your podcast journey all about dinosaurs. This last Sunday, my wife and I got back from our Jamaican vacation, man. We had so much fun down there at Sandals, Montego Bay. It's an all-inclusive resort, you guys. So there's 12 restaurants, and they're totally free, or kind of we prepay before we go. But we ate and we ate and we ate. I was as full as a T-Rex going out hunting a herd of Triceratops. I even had escargot, and those are snails. I had some seafood mussels and tons of steak and shrimp. Now, my ranger wife and I, we had so much fun relaxing on the beach down there in Jamaica. We took a tour on a glass bottom boat, and we even went snorkeling. Now, you guys, we went snorkeling along the bay down in Montego Bay, and the reef was absolutely beautiful, and the fish, you guys, there was so many different colors and shapes. It was just amazing, so fantastic seeing all those kinds of different fish. It was my first time ever going snorkeling, and I would recommend it to anybody that has the chance to go down and snorkel the reef down there in Jamaica. Now, we also visited the Jamaican Swamp Safari, and it's where we seen tons of native animals and animals that were brought into Jamaica, but now they live in Jamaica. So Ranger Elise and I both got to hold a baby crocodile. Now, overall, we just had an amazing time, you guys. It was just so beautiful looking out towards the ocean from our room deck and when we were down on the beach. And I know someday we will be back down there in Jamaica, man. Now, let's update you guys on some Dinerpreneur news before we get started on today's bizarre dinosaur. Now, you guys, have you signed up for Camp Stomp Chomp Roar? We just have under 2 weeks to sign up. Do you want to learn about dinosaurs, fossils, Jurassic Park, hybrids, Ice Age animals, or maybe even learn how to create your very own fossil? Well, then you're going to want to make sure to sign up this week. Just go to my website for more information. It's www.stompchomproar.com/summercamp. Now, my June Patreon Club lessons, the first one is coming up this Sunday, June 19th, and it's about the mysterious twin dinosaurs, and that's the Therizinosaurus Microceratus, who we do happen to see in Jurassic World Dominion, and the Dinosaur. These herbivore creatures both look very similar, but are they related? Now, I'll also be doing a virtual lesson on June 26th, and it'll be all about pop culture dinosaurs like Rex, Reptar, Dragonzord, and so much more. So you're going to have to go ahead and check out my Patreon club to learn more about those virtual lessons. Just go to patreon.com or download the Patreon Club app and search for Stomp, Chomp, Roar. Now, you guys, we have lots of shout-outs this week. With over 60 events this June and July, I am booked rock solid, or should I say fossil solid. Well, you guys, this Monday, we went and visited Pre-K and Play of Papillion, and then we did our today, Tuesday, you guys, we went and did the other Pre-K and Play over in the Northwest, over on Fort Street, and tonight, you guys, we did our Jurassic World Dominion watch party. So me and 20 of my awesome fans that I have here in Omaha, we went to the Alamo Cinema over in La Vista, and we got to see Jurassic World Dominion. So thank you everybody that came out to my Jurassic World watch party. Now, we also visited Amazing Days Childcare on Monday, so shout out to them. Shout out to both Pre-K and Play, like I mentioned. We visited one of their locations on Monday, the other one on Tuesday, yesterday. Now, also shout out to Garden Patch Childcare and Lapete Academy on 140th and Center. We'll be visiting both of those childcare centers on Wednesday, later this morning after I go to sleep and get back up in the morning. On Thursday, I'm going to be going to Daycare Plus Childcare, and I'll also be visiting the La Vista Public Library. So shout out to those guys for having me out later this week. And then on Friday, I'll be going back to the Durham Museum here in Omaha, Nebraska, and being part of their Fossil Friday event before going to another birthday party on Friday afternoon or Friday evening for Mia. We're super excited to come celebrate your birthday, Mia. Now, you guys, let's go ahead and grab our scorecards because it's time for today's species. It's time for our next dinosaur review on the Dinosaur Review for Kids podcast. So remember, if you want to print off the official scorecard for the Dinosaur Review for Kids podcast, you can head to my website, click on that Science Lab tab, and you'll see the post about the Dinosaur Review for Kids podcast, and you can print off for free the PDF file so you can review your own dinosaur species or follow along with me, Dinosaur Ranger Anthony, as I review all of our prehistoric creatures. Now, today we're doing a very odd, very unusual type of dinosaur. It is the Microceratus. The Microceratus. And that means small horned face. So the Microceratus is the genus, the species of dinosaur, and its name means the small horned face. So Microceratus. Now, what's the dinosaur order for this dinosaur? So our Microceratus is an ornithischian type dinosaur. It's a bird-hipped dinosaur. Then it falls in that Marginocephalia family. Those are some herbivores that either have the frills or the dome heads. And then it falls in that ceratopsian family. They have the head frills on the back of their heads, like Triceratops and many of the other ceratopsians. Now, how big was the Microceratus? Well, this one is very, very, very small. It's nowhere the size of a Triceratops that could be up to 30 feet long and 10 feet high. Our Microceratus is only around 3 feet long, or 1 meter, and it's only 1.5 feet high, or just under 0.5 meters. Now, it also weighs up from 6 to 22 pounds. It is very small, one of the smallest, if not the smallest, ceratopsian within the ceratopsians family. So again, only about 3 feet long, 1.5 feet tall, and can weigh up to 22 pounds. Triceratops is 30 feet long, so this one is way smaller than our Triceratops, and it's also smaller than the Protoceratops or the Psittacosaurus, which are some other ceratopsians. Protoceratops and Psittacosaurus are about 6 feet long, so Microceratus is only around 3 feet long. Very, very small for our ceratopsian family. Now, how fast was this dinosaur? So it's very unknown. long, but I'm going to give it about a 35 to 40 miles per hour. This ceratopsian is walking on a bipedal stance. That's right, it's walking on two legs. It's bipedal, which means it walks on two legs. Our triceratops, with that very bulky body, walks on four legs. It's quadrupedal. It's only getting up to speeds from 14 to 20 miles per hour. Since our Microceratus is walking on two legs, it's going to be able to pick up a lot more speed than our Triceratops, a lot more lightweight as well. So when I looked at the Compsognathus, that one can run up to about 40 miles per hour, is kind of somewhat of a similar size as our Microceratus, but not as bulky. This one, our Microceratus, is going to be a little bit more bulkier than that Compsognathus or the Compy. So Compy's about 40 miles per hour, so I'm going to put our Microceratus at least in the 30s, 30 to 40 miles per hour. We'll say about 35 miles per hour. So what weapons or defense did our Microceratus have? What are its characteristics? And I cannot say it enough, our Microceratus is one of the smallest ceratopsians ever to live. Now imagine this, guys. Imagine a Triceratops, the tiniest one you can ever think of. Just a tiny little Triceratops that's only 3 feet long. And then picture it walking on only two legs with two little arms. That is our Microceratus. Very small ceratopsian, only walking on two legs, and has short front limbs that were off the ground. So they had hoof-like claws. They had those small arms off the ground. Maybe they could help them dig in the ground looking for all kinds of vegetation, or maybe even dig up in the trees. So our Microceratus has a bony frill like we see on other ceratopsian creatures. Their head, I believe, is going to be about 12 inches in length. So a lot of the ceratopsian heads, their head is actually 1/3 of their bodies. So since our Microceratus is about 3 feet in length, their skull is going to be, with the frill included, is going to be about a foot long, or 12 inches. Now our Microceratus, no horns, so it's not going to have any of those weapons on its head, any of those kinds of horns. Now they have a sharp, toothless beak for tearing all kinds of tough vegetation, and they have all kinds of cheek teeth built in their mouth, and I'm probably assuming that they're somewhat of a leaf shape like we see in other of like the Protoceratops, they're ceratopsians. Now our Microceratus had a pebble-like reptilian-like skin, and they even believed that it was able to change colors within its environment, its tree life that it was living in down in the vegetation. I'm not totally sure how scientists come up with this one. I tried looking into a little bit more, but they do believe that it could possibly change somewhat of a color, maybe like a chameleon up in the trees, changing all kinds of colors to blend in with their environment. That would definitely be a good characteristic for this dinosaur. Now there's very little fossil evidence of the Microceratus, so it's very hard to come up with more details about this species. Now they think that it even was able to live up in the trees, and that would also be a very good defense for a Microceratus. They're staying off the ground, staying away from all those predators down there, velociraptor, anything with big sharp teeth. They're living up in the trees. They're eating all those pine needles off the conifer trees and all the vegetation up there in the trees. Now they probably have somewhat of a solid bump above their nose, not totally a nasal boss like we see in the Pachyrhinoceros, but more of just a very solid bone above that parrot-like beak, and they probably would have had somewhat of a thick bone over their eyes as well, protecting their eyes and making that frill, that bony frill of it, very solid, helping protect the back of their skulls and their necks. Now, where did the Microceratus live, and how long did this species live during the Mesozoic era? So the Microceratus, you guys, I found all kinds of different things within the rock layers, but I found a lot of 100 to 65 million years ago during the late Cretaceous period. Now that is a very long time. Dinosaur species are going in and out of the Mesozoic era, going extinct rather quickly. So to be living this long during the Mesozoic era, that is totally incredible. They find this Microceratus fossil in the woodlands of Central Asia and Mongolia. Now it was found and named back in 1953 by Berger Bolin. Now, the Microceratops was actually the name of it back in 1953, and it was renamed the Microceratus in 2008, which is the year I actually graduated high school from Millard South High School. I was a patriot. But back to the dinosaur review, our Microceratus was named in 2008, so it took away the Microceratops that was named back in 1953, and that's because it was actually already the name of a type, a genus of wasp. Can you believe that? A bug, the wasp, like a bee, was named the Microceratops. So since there was two creatures named Microceratops, the one that was named second had to be erased. They had to come up with a new name, and the Microceratus was born in 2008, and it was named by Octavio Matias. So that is a little bit more, you guys, about our Microceratus. So let's give it a review today. On our Microceratus, are we going to give it 1 to 10 fossils? 1 fossil being for some of the weakest dinosaurs, and 10 fossils being for some of the strongest dinosaurs. Well, as you guys can guess, this one is probably making its way down the fossil scale. It is very small, only 3 feet long. It doesn't have any horns like other ceratopsians. So I'm going to give our Microceratus a 1.9. Oh no, a 1.9. Our first one in the Dinosaur Review for Kids podcast. A 1.9 for our Microceratus. So there we have it, you guys. 1.9. It breaks my heart because I love herbivores so much. A 1.9. Now let me just say this, you guys. If this species really did live for about 40 million years during the Mesozoic era, then this genus was better suited to live that long of time than other dinosaurs that I have scored way bigger scores on the Dinosaur Review for Kids podcast. So kudos to our Microceratus for possibly living so long during the Mesozoic era. Now, you guys, originally I was supposed to do a podcast on the Protoceratops today, and after I saw the Jurassic World Dominion movie tonight, I thought I saw tons of Protoceratops in the film. But after looking it up when I got home, I found out that these dinosaurs were actually the Microceratus. Also, you guys, something very cool, Colin Trevorrow, the director of Jurassic World Dominion, it also happens to be his favorite dinosaur. So after I got home from seeing the movie, I knew I had to go and quickly make some updates, burn the midnight oil. It's 12:32 here in the morning, here in Omaha, Nebraska. I updated the podcast, and I'm down here recording it for all you guys tonight. Now, one of my favorite scenes actually in Jurassic World Dominion that I saw last night is when Owen and Claire are in the amber clave black market in Malta, and we see all kinds of Microceratus in cages being sold in like the black market down there in Malta. Now, can I buy one of those? They're very, very cute. Pretty please, can I buy myself a Microceratus? Now, you guys, in the Jurassic Park, the book by Michael Crichton, this species would actually alert the humans when the T-Rex was around. And we also found out in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom that a small Microceratus population actually lived around the foothills of Mount Sibo on Isla Nublar after being created by the original engine company of Jurassic Park. Very cool, very lots and lots of backstory on our Microceratus. You're not able to find too much information about them because, like I said, there's very little fossil evidence, but they are definitely very cool ceratopsians. I just love seeing those ceratopsians walking on 2 legs. They are very unique. Now, you guys, before we log off for tonight, what did the dinosaur plate say to the fork? What did the dinosaur plate say to the fork? Lunch is on me! Lunch is on me, get it? Because it's a dinosaur plate, so is it your lunch plate, your dinner plate, or is it a plate for protection? Well, nonetheless, you guys, remember, just 10 more days to sign up for camp. Stomp Chomp Roar, my virtual summer camp, and you can join from anywhere in the world. Just visit stompchomproar.com/summer camp to learn about all the fantastic details about my virtual summer camp. Again, my name is Dinosaur Ranger Anthony, and as always, keep digging for dinosaurs. We'll see you guys later.